Just being in awe of, all those fans cheering for those guys out there, and I wanted to, to be that. And, so I basically the rest of my life aspired to be in their position, and, luckily, God willing, it worked out.
All right, our first game is at Penn State, under the lights. What should we be looking for?
Just a lot of energy. It's a great experience. In Beaver Stadium, 107,000 plus fans, and I can't imagine that first game being a night game too. Just the energy, and you're gonna feel it. You're not only gonna hear it, but you will feel it, and it's just an exciting experience. For me, playing has been amazing. But obviously had the opportunity to be in this, watch the games from the outside too. So, it's a really special place.
You grew up in State College, so you have been going to games for a long time. What's your earliest Penn State memory?
Yeah, I was probably like 9 years old, and so I would always like tailgate with my family, run around as a kid, tailgating and end up, getting into the game, and just being in awe of, all those fans cheering for those guys out there, and I wanted to, to be that, and so I basically the rest of my life aspired to be in their position, and luckily, God willing, it worked out.
Which players did you look up to the most?
So one of my favorite players when I was young was Chaz Powell. He wore number 2, so that was kind of like my thing, my guy really, growing up, and for Halloween, throw the number 2 jersey on, and so that whole deal. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Your Halloween costume was set then for you?
Oh yeah, for probably till I stopped going. But yeah, I was a number 2 jersey for most every Halloween. Yeah.
Did it almost seem surreal when you became a player there, or was it like a foregone conclusion, like this is my destiny almost?
Yeah, I feel like surreal, that word, like I think that really was the first game I ever played, just getting out there and really like have my feet on the grass, but when I got to university and started training and working out and practicing, I just felt like this is what I work for, and my expectation was to be here for myself. So I was pretty not too shocked or like emotional about it.
Now, Coach Franklin named you as one of the captains for this year. What kind of a leader are you?
Yeah, so and that's something I've been working on, for the past year and a half. And for me, I'm not a huge vocal guy. So my first step for me is just leading by example. Setting the standard, for what it takes, and what the expectation is. And I think the big thing for me, and what I've learned, is just to care for others, and that's the big part of being a leader, is to care for others. Not only set that standard, but make sure you're there for your teammates, and that's something that I've have done and try and work to do.
What about you as a player? Because I know you've made a little bit of a transition here, corner to safety now. You played there last year. What have you learned the most about what you need to do to be a quality safety?
Yeah, so for me, playing corner, gave me the skills to play man, and I think having, I have loose hips and quick feet, so, when I moved back to safety, it was just being able to use my ball skills, and that's something that I feel like is a talent of mine, and I use that well. And for me, the biggest thing going through that transition was just the mental aspect of it. The whole new position. You're really seeing the whole field. So to be able to digest, what the offense is doing, and what you're doing, and just the mental side of it was big for me.
Does it feel like finality? Like this is your last year? Does it add a little more pressure or weight to the season?
Every day is your last day, basically, of that. So cherish every moment that I have. Every day. Making sure I'm putting my best foot forward, and I know that everything else will take care of itself.
What is the most Pennsylvania thing about you?
Most Pennsylvania thing, I would say, just like being outdoors, like just because I fish, I like golf is another thing I like to do. It's just an outdoor thing, and I like being outdoors, and I think that's something that Pennsylvania it has given me, especially central Pennsylvania, very rural areas, not a whole lot going on. So just being outside and enjoying being outside.
Bucket list thing to do for anyone who visits Penn State?
Bucket list, I would say definitely the creamery. Just get the ice cream, and then just the Lions Shrine. I feel like just getting a picture there, that's just like a staple. State College and the university.
What's the best class you've taken so far?
Best class, I would say there was a arena management class that I took, and I really enjoyed that one. Obviously we have the Bryce Jordan Center and different places on campus. So just to be able to see what all goes into games and events behind the scenes was pretty cool.
Such a massive operation.
Oh
right?
my gosh, yeah. There's so many details that go into that.
When I walk onto campus, I feel what?
When I walk onto campus, I feel it's like I think there's a certain amount of tradition that I've learned, growing up around it. So I just feel honored, and it's a prestigious school, not only for the athletics but for the academics. So it's just an honor to be able to go to Penn State.
All right, so if you had not picked, which seems like it was destiny, but where would you have gone?
It's a great question. I was talking to a lot of schools. I don't know if unless Penn State wasn't a school or their football program was doing horribly, then I probably wouldn't have went. But I didn't really have. I like North Carolina, South Carolina, where I want to live. So I was thinking somewhere further south. But at the end of the day, it was Penn State, no brainer. That was the final decision.